Hello guys, welcome back to another video on FPL Bros. Yes, FPL Bros. We did some changes to a YouTube channel name. Let's first speak about that. We were called Football, but we changed it to FPL Bros mainly for the reason that the content that we do on this channel is just mainly about fantasy football, and changing the channel name to FPL Bros just kind of makes more sense for the algorithm, for the channel name. We do English content only. So yeah, everything else is gonna be the same, but just a YouTube channel. Moving forward, it's gonna be called FPL Bros. And we might keep guys at the football for a future channel, where we might speak about some other things, but FPL Bros is just fantasy football content. But yeah, everything else is gonna stay the same, and let's move forward. And this video, we're gonna be speaking about our team selection for game week 13. But first, we're gonna go over our game week 12 review and how we performed this week. Both of us did pretty well, so let's head right into our reviews. Okay, so now moving on to our game week 12 reviews, starting off with me, FPL Rich. I managed to score this week 70 points. This is right after pretty much the Newcastle and West Ham game ended a couple hours ago on Monday. We're recording this. I did score 70 points overall, and my new rank is in the 300s. So overall, it was a pretty good game week. Another massive green arrow. And yeah, overall, I do have, in terms of my players, nothing really special overall, but Salah is still pretty much, with every single time I'm captaining him, he's scoring double digits. Holland is still blanking, and Cunha is still scoring massive hauls as well. I did get a couple clean sheets as well, 5 clean sheets in total. Pickford, Gabriel, Son, Mbeumo, and McNeil all kept clean sheets. Um, Son in particular, I'm a bit disappointed on, in terms, not in terms of how he played, but in terms of the minutes he's playing. So that's definitely a player I'm targeting to move away in game week 13. But overall, I performed pretty well. Let's move on to MIGS and see how he performed.
All right, so now going on to what I did for game week 12. I also did very well. I did 79 points, but I did a -4. I did 3 transfers last game week. But just in goal here, I had Matt Sells and then Mazerai, Gabriel, and Van Berg. Both Van Berg and Gabriel with clean sheets. And then I had a midfield four of Embuemo, who also had a clean sheet. Smith Rowe, who really didn't do much in that game up against Wolves. He didn't really do much. He went out early, and then I did bring in Mohamed Salah, who also captain, got 26 points, and then Saka has also been doing very well. He, I believe, got a goal in there and an assist, I believe. And then Matheus Cunha, another player that I brought in who did very well, and Holland and Welbeck not doing very well. But Fabianski in my bench, who got a clean sheet in that win up against Newcastle today. Probably could have had an extra 4 points there, but it's kind of tough choosing. It was choosing. I wasn't expecting that, I guess you could say. I wasn't expecting for West Ham to keep a clean sheet, especially away. But yeah, this is what I did for this game week. I did do very well, and I was just close to the 3 million. Now I'm a little. I'm within the 1 million now.
Okay, so now moving on to our game week 13 transfer plans. Starting off with me, I do have 0.6 in the bank, and I do have 2 free transfers. I did save one of my transfers last week by rolling the transfer. So now I have 2 free transfers. I kind of evaluated things a little bit more, and I've already done one of the transfers already. The first transfer I've done was getting rid of Son to Saka. I did this pretty much very early, during the Man City game when Son got subbed out. I did the transfer, and this saved me kind of, with the price rise of Saka as well. So I did get Saka for 10.1 million. And yeah, I mean, moving forward, did want to get rid of Son just because Spurs is in terms of a team, they played very well against City, but Son was not one of their main players. He did get an assist, but in attacking, he wasn't really he was not performing the best. That's why I do believe he was one of the worst players out there, and that's why he did get subbed off pretty early. Moving forward, I am glad to have Saka on the team, especially against West Ham. Even though West Ham did win against Newcastle, I still believe Arsenal are a very good team to defeat West Ham. But yeah, this is my first transfer. I've already done this transfer, so now I have one more transfer. So moving on to the second transfer, I don't know if I'm going to do this second transfer yet. I do have some faults in my team that I kind of looking at. There's a lot of them actually. One of them is Holland, McNeil, and Embuemo. I'm not too like I don't really want to get rid of like I don't mind getting rid of any of these players. I'm definitely keeping Embuemo for the Leicester fixture that he does have at home. I'm definitely keeping Holland. I'm still gonna keep Holland even though he did blank against Spurs. Overall, City have not been performing as well, but I do believe Holland is going to eventually pick up goals. And like I said before, it's going to be harder to bring in Holland and it's going to be harder to bring in Salah. So I am definitely not going to be moving away from Holland. I'm definitely going to keep him. So if I am going to do another transfer, it's probably going to be McNeil to Jorginho from Brighton. Brighton do have very good transfers moving forward, and Jorginho has been one of the players that have been getting on those score sheets. The only thing that I kind of see me not moving into his transfer is the minutes that Jorginho's getting. He's gonna getting into those like 70 minutes, 60 minutes. So he's not getting the full game, but he's definitely getting good minutes, at least enough to get himself on the score sheet or an assist. So especially against Southampton at home, a very good fixture for Brighton. And I don't have João Pedro. I am not going to bring João Pedro in because I still have Chris Wood on my team, and I'm going to keep Chris Wood for that Ipswich at home fixture. And then in game week 14, I might move away from Chris Wood to João Pedro. But definitely for this week, I probably would like to have a Brighton player definitely for that Southampton at home fixture. So if I am gonna do a second transfer, it's probably gonna be McNeil to Jorginho, and that's it for me. So let's move on to my team selection. So moving forward, I've already done the first transfer. As you can see, Saka's in the team, but I am going to be lining up with a 3-4-3, and I do have 0.3 in the bank. So my goalie is Pickford. As of currently, Pickford. We have a back three of Gabriel, Lewis Hall, and Aina. And my midfield is Saka, Embuemo, McNeil, and Salah. And my front three is Cunha, Wood, and Holland. Overall, I am the only thing that I'm kind of thinking about is the captaincy. Since both Holland and Liverpool, or Holland and Saka, since both Holland and Salah are facing each other, there's kind of a this is kind of a good week to kind of move away from those two captaincies and kind of go differential. There's a lot of good choices like Chris Wood with Ipswich at home, Cunha, Bournemouth at home, or Saka, West Ham away. But currently, my captaincy is on Salah with his form. But moving forward, I might move away from that captaincy and just do a differential captaincy for this week. As I said before, I don't know who right now. It might be Cunha, just because Cunha is just on very good form, and Wolves have do need to get those points in order to stay away from relegation. So yeah, that might be my move for captaincy this week. But that is my game week 13 team selection.
So now going on to my game week 13 transfer plan. I do only have one free transfer with zero point 0.1 million in the bank. Last week I did do 3 transfers, taking a -4. This game week, as you can see, my team did do very well last week. And I think just some of the players that I'm more concerned about is Smith Rowe, who last game went out a bit early. I think it was around the 55th minute, 60th minute. But that player I'm probably the most concerned with. Everyone else, I'm also going to be keeping Embuemo for another game week, possibly transferring him out next week. And then Holland, I am kind of starting to go into that boat in which I don't know if I want to keep him. So there's a possibility, definitely not this game week, as Mohamed Salah and Holland their teams are going to be going up against each other. So I'm going to keep them for this game week. But I think the player that I'm kind of a little bit more concerned about if I were to do a transfer this week is Smith Rowe. But overall, I like my team, and I'm not seeing myself doing a transfer, just because as I mentioned, I kind of do want to maybe get off of that Holland boat and bring in like a Cole Palmer. But in order to do that, I need to get free of some money. So I'm just gonna for this game week, I think I'm gonna hold off on doing a transfer, uh, and save it for next week. I'm hoping that Smith Rowe will be able to give me maybe another couple points. But yeah, I'm definitely just gonna roll on to the transfer for this week. And now going on to my team selection for game week 13, I also have a 3-4-3 with zero point 0.1 million in the bank. And in goal, I have Matt Sells. Back line 3 of Mazurai, Gabriel, and Van Berg. All of them of which have very good fixtures. And I know I got 2 clean sheets last game week. I'm hoping to at least get another 2 clean sheets this week as well. And then I do have midfield of Embuemo, Smith Rowe, Mohamed Salah, Saka, and then strikers with Welbeck, Cunha, and Holland. And I would say some very good fixtures to point out here. Danny Welbeck has been contributing a lot to his team. Unfortunately, last game week he didn't. I think it was last 2 game weeks he hasn't really got much, but I like how this Brighton team is playing. Definitely a very offensive team, and I like how Welbeck is a player that really contributes to the offensive side. And also, as you could see, I have Cunha as my captaincy. I really like how Cunha has been playing, and as FPL Rich was saying, I think this is a really really good game week. Since Mohamed Salah and Holland are going to be playing against each other to do a differential. And I do have Cunha as a captaincy right now with the vice captaincy on Saka. Saka also has a very good fixture with Arsenal. I really liked how they played last game, and Saka has been performing just very well. But as of right now, I have my captaincy on Cunha, a little bit more of a differential than Saka, but it's a good week to do a differential, I would say, this game week. And then I'm just hoping Smith Rowe would be able to get something in a tough fixture up against Tottenham. And then my bench, I do have Fabianski, Lewis, and then 2 injured players with Winks and Greaves. I haven't played Rico Lewis. I didn't play him last week, and I'm not thinking of playing him this week either. Man City has been playing very horribly in terms of defense, and last week I think Rico didn't score any points, and this game week it's going to be even tougher up against Liverpool, so I'm just going to be keeping him on the bench. But yeah, this is what I'm doing for this game week. But please let us know what y'all think. Leave a comment of any suggestions that y'all have for us.
And that is it for this video. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And we'll see you guys all next week for our game week 14 team selection.